to the topic of today's video. I wanted to talk a little bit about the relationship between meditation, sex, especially orgasms, and drugs, specifically getting high. And I wanted to talk about all those things and the relationship between all of those things, because sometimes meditation, especially if you don't really know anything about it, it can seem as a very maybe strange concept, or you wonder, why would I do that? I don't need to do that. I don't want to do that. But if we look closely into how they relate to each other and the different motivations behind meditation, orgasms, and getting high, then at least I've come to see that they all almost have the same kind of motivation. And this motivation, this desire, I would say, is the longing to get into a state of mind, or even beyond our state of minds, where we feel relief. We feel freed from our ordinary life, from our duties and responsibilities and all the things we have to do, all the things we're doing, all the routines, all the habits we're in. And it's this maybe even small moment of enlightenment in a very literal or descriptive kind of sense, because we really just lighten up when we're either high, when we have an orgasm, or even when we just sit down to practice meditation. But then the thing is, we might say, okay, if they all serve the same purpose, I will just go on having a lot of orgasms. Why would I meditate if I could just have sex, or if I could just get high? I mean, especially getting high is rather the easy way, or the shortcut to this state of mind, to this mode of being. But then again, if we observe the implications of these different things in our lives, then there are a few different things we can see. And I think the most important thing that we can see is that we can always be meditative. We can always observe our being, what's going on inside of us. And then at first, or most of the times, we won't even get into this state of bliss or release, feeling at peace, feeling that there's nothing lacking. I think that's essentially what it comes down to, that we're so fulfilled in the moment that there's nothing else we want. There's no longer this tension inside of us of getting somewhere, wanting something. And with sex and with drugs, I mean, they are temporary in a sense, because if you have an orgasm, then it's there for a few seconds, or a few more seconds if you're lucky, or depending on the situation or whatever, but then it's essentially gone and you're back to your normal state, or you're back to your ordinary mind, if I could say so. And the same is true with drugs and getting high. You you need the substance, you need to smoke something or to take something in order to get into the state of mind. And then when you're sober again, you're again stuck with everything normal, whereby it's not necessary that everything normal is bad, or like, no, totally not. But yeah, we're still in this maybe a little bit tense environment, or back to our depression even, or just back to our normal life where we might feel like something's missing, or we might not feel very fulfilled. And then on the other hand, meditation is something that we can always practice, and that eventually stays with us and is always accessible. We can always just take a deep breath and slowly, lighten up. And I heard this metaphor about meditation, which is that meditation is basically composting. So we can always slowly transform all of our stuck up energies, all of our negative energies. And even if we can't do that, we can just observe them and accept them. And then in the whole, if we just look at our lives, we can get high, we can have orgasms, and that's all good. But if we see like this deeper underlying connections between of them, we can realize why we might abuse drugs, why we might abuse sex, why we get addicted to those things, because we're trying to grab something that we long for, but that we can never get through those things, only for a very short period of time. And the reason why I decided to make this video is also because in a few of my next videos, I want to talk about pornography addiction and excessive masturbation, if you want. Yeah, basically. And how I had problems with that, or how I struggled with that. And how again meditation can maybe relieve you from this kind of addiction, but also other kinds of addictions. So to sum up this video, I think it's very healthy or very important that we understand like how these different things relate to each other, and the importance of finding a spiritual practice, or you don't need to even call it spiritual practice, of just the importance of being connected to this moment or everything that's actually going on, and finding a way through life or with life. Finding a way to actually see all of our maybe unsatisfying feelings and desires, and actually looking at them so they can vanish, or we can free ourselves from them. But just having too many orgasms, or chasing orgasms and drugs and getting high just so that we are free from the state, of course, and I guess everyone agrees on that, is not the most healthy way. And that's why I think meditation can be very beneficial to us. Yeah. I guess that's it for this video. I hope you could make some connections between those different things. If you have experienced some similarities between those things. If you maybe even felt orgasmic during meditation, which is quite possible, and I've also experienced that myself, where you have really a long and profound feeling of peace and joy, then let me know in the comments. If you haven't and you want to know if it's possible or whatever you want to know, just let me know that too. And yeah, thank you for watching. I will work on making regular videos again, as I always really strive to do that, and I take this YouTube business very seriously. And yeah, thank you for watching, and see you soon.